presented by Prize Picks. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 and you use the promo code. Welcome to Light Years, a joyous Light Years. Andy, is this the vibe shift episode? Is this the vibe shift episode for the Warriors? Because I am feeling re-energized. You know, in some ways, this has been kind of a rough couple years, a lot of lying to ourselves, a lot of talking ourselves into things that, like, deep down I knew were never going to lead me anywhere, but they made the big trade. And you know what? Tonight's game was a little murky in the second quarter. In the middle of the second quarter, early third, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is bad. But huge run, huge win, and vibes. I think the vibes are back.
The vibes are... Dude, we're back. The vibes are back. Steph's back. I got a massive smile. I don't think I'm going to stop smiling tonight. This is what we asked for. Matter of fact, I'm going to give all of our fans the credit. I'm going to give all of our listeners the credit. They've been asking for this for years. And it played out exactly, at least the last 24 minutes played out exactly, I think, what we wanted. Once this team gelled and once they got some chemistry, kind of figure out what happened. Dude, it felt like Steph said, oh, you know what? I got a little extra energy in me. I got a little extra bump in me. You know, I don't got 4 guys coming at me. I can just go ISO. I just kind of do what I want. More importantly, he's back. So this is awesome.
Is number 30 back? Is that what's going on now? I mean,
I haven't seen him move that quick in a month. It really was the shot making. It was nuts.
You've seen the movie The Usual Suspects, right? The walk where he's like gimpy and like, you know, oh, I got this leg injury, and then all of a sudden he starts walking straight. That's kind of like Steph's knee, you know. The last month he looks like low-key, like kind of washed. I'm in denial. I don't want to deal with it. I'll be like, you need some help. Get the man some help. And it's Steph Curry. I mean, he's the greatest player in franchise history. He's top 2 to 3 Bay Area athletes of all time. So you don't go there until you have to really go there. And, you know, he gets Jimmy out here and a little more pep in his step. Look good.
I think that was it. It was the pep in his step. It was, it felt like a vintage, dude. That third quarter did feel like vintage Warriors. Like they got the stops. Steph was running around. He made the huge threes. And the momentum shifts. There weren't any in that stretch. There weren't any dumb plays. It was smart plays. Steve Kerr put the right guys out there. They put the ball in Steph's hands. And then when it needed to happen, they put the ball in Jimmy's hands. I'm sure we'll get into all of it. We'll have the callers call in tonight. But it did feel like the perfect, hey, Steph, go and do your thing because you have more space. And then when the game gets a little slower, Jimmy's just going to go right to the hole and he's going to shoot or 3. Like that's just the recipe for success. Sam, I don't know the last time that the Warriors had someone that shot this many free throws, and I can say that I think he's going to do this consistently. Maybe not 13 free throws, but every game he's going to shoot at least 6, 7, 8, 9 free throws. You can bank on it, and I don't know when the last time that happened. Maybe I don't know, like that good either, right? Like we're not counting Corey McGinn,
and it was
right.
And it was good. Like so like classic Warrior teams would just lock in defensively and then run on you over time. Like, you know, the Andre Iguodala, prime Klay Thompson, Draymond Green Warriors would do that. The Warriors do not have that personnel right now. They just don't. But to me, that third quarter looked like the recipe. They turned up the intensity defensively. They did play good defense. They just didn't play like, you know, generational defense, which those Warriors do, right? And then what Jimmy did is something that no one on the Warriors other than KD at times when he wanted to during the 2016 to 18-ish run could do, which is he slowed the game down. The Bulls were hitting everything, man. They could not miss. Like Kobe White's a good player. He's not Steph. And when he hit that logo 3, I'm like, all right, relax. You know what I mean? Like that's
what are we doing?
That there was that, and then he hits that, and I'm like, oh, are they really just gonna get blown out? Because they were down 24 at that point, 22, something in that range. And then the Warriors locked in defensively. And then what Jimmy did is something the Warriors have not been able to do because they haven't had a player who can do it, which is I'm just going to get to the line. I'm going to slow this down.
Yep.
We're going to get a stop. I'm going to get free throws. Stop, free throws, stop, layup, and one. And next thing you know, they're down 13. They're down 50. You know, it goes from blowout to manageable. And then Steph started cooking. And that's when it gets scary. And to me, I don't know the perfect combinations right now. Steve's clearly searching, and he'll probably be searching for the next month because you're kind of integrating on the fly. But to me, that's the formula, which is defend, let Jimmy slow the game down, and then let Steph take over when he starts feeling it. But like play in control because you're not the most explosive team. But between Steph, between Draymond, and between Jimmy, you might be the toughest team in the league, and you might be the smartest team. You can work with that.
I actually think this is going to come down a lot on lineup construction and really the type of sets and shot selection that they go for. Because I think a lot of the issue in the first half, and you actually, not actually, but you brought this up, is why did Buddy Hield lead the team in shots and points in the first half? Like that should never happen. The Chicago Bulls aren't a defense that is forcing Buddy Hield to take shots. The Chicago Bulls are the worst defense in the entire NBA. God forbid, like God bless Fitz. I don't enjoy listening to him, but like he did call it out every 5 seconds. Like this is not a good defensive team. They should not be forcing Buddy Hield to shoot a lot of shots. And the Warriors in the second half fixed that, right? And some of that is Steph saying like, hey, I'm just going to go and shoot. And I'm just going to go and bring us back into the game. But like some of this stuff is, I think, going to be based on them getting out of their own effing way, dude. Like, so like you don't need to, the offense doesn't need to be that difficult. You don't need to pass the ball 4 times to get a shot. You can just give Jimmy the ball 14 foot away from the hoop and he'll get someone an open look. Like he can blow by someone. He doesn't need a screen. He doesn't need the dribble handoff. He doesn't need any of that. Right? He can get people open off the rip. And I think some of this is just for them in the next 30 games, especially some of the teams that they play aren't good. They're not going to play the Thunder every game. Like that's what they should be doing. And that's what they did in the second half. And it also helps when, you know, in my opinion, like, and I think a lot of people brought this up, like you just don't need to be playing 3 guards with this team ever, especially when you have post at center who can't play defense. And they cut some of that out in the second half and the defense looked better. Like it's not a perfectly constructed team, which is why to me it's so important for the lineups out there to be like the best they can be. You just don't need guys with that much ball handling. That's what Jimmy's for.
I thought Moses Moody had a rough game, but just in general, you can kind of see how he needs to be one of those guys who plays off of these guys because he can hit an open shot and he also can defend just enough. Not a great defender yet, but he's a little bigger. He's a little bigger. He's a little longer. He'll get to loose balls. He does the things you want of a role player, even if it's not a finished product. Guy Santos. What did Guy play in the first half? 5 minutes, maybe something in that range. He didn't really get out there. Second half, Guy was in there. Bingo. Another guy, 6'7", 6'8" wing. I'm not sure if he can shoot or not. He's currently shooting the ball well, but obviously if he was a 40% shooter, he'd be a mainstay in the rotation. But just another athlete who understands his role.
Yep.
Hits enough shots. Right now he's hitting all his shots, but gets rebounds, tips the ball out, does the little things. And that's really what they need because they officially have a second star. Like they do have a real second star. Jimmy should see the ball more. I thought he was kind of timid for half this game. I think a lot of it was he was trying. You saw him like get the ball in the post and try to find a cutter. Cutter's Buddy Hield. He misses it. I think he's doing the mental calculus where he's like, man, maybe I don't need to pass it to him if that's the way it's going to go. Maybe I just go up with it. But, the point stands. It's probably going to be that way for Jimmy for the next 10 to 15 games where he's filling out guys on the team and the roster. They have 60-plus points between Jimmy and Steph. Draymond will quarterback the defense and do all the little things. Everyone who plays around those guys needs to be guys who concentrates on the little things and hits their open looks. That's really it. We don't need guys who want to take over around those guys. You might need Buddy Hield to be more aggressive when they're off the floor. But when those guys are on the floor, he needs to lock into going for loose balls and just hitting open shots.
I think this is actually great for Pods. I think this actually affects Pods a lot, and we saw it tonight. He's been really good since coming off injury, but one of the issues for him and really for all these players is like, dude, you just can't put him leading a bench unit on his shoulders. Like, it's a lot, and that's unfair, right? And it was honestly like unfair to even Wiggins. Like, it's just not who he is. But now that you have Jimmy Butler, dude, when he kicked off that fourth quarter and the Warriors were up 12, 10, 12, and we're used to seeing like, all right, Steph's off. Here we go. The Bulls are going to cut this to 3-4. Steve's going to let Steph sit a little more. Steph's going to come in with about 6.5 minutes. We're all going to bitch about why Steph didn't come in earlier. And then it's a dogfight for the last 6 minutes of the game. But that's not what happens when you got Jimmy there. And to my Pod's point, Jimmy makes life so much easier for him. And I'm excited to see when Kuminga comes back, because he's going to make life so much easier for Kuminga, where it's like, bro, you don't got to worry about dribbling. You don't got to worry about getting past your guy. Just fucking cut. Set a screen,
right?
Cut. Jimmy's got you, dude. Like, that's all you need to do. I think it's pretty, and this is my final point here on the Jimmy stuff. I think for people that underrated Jimmy as a true offensive option, pretty embarrassing as a basketball watcher.
Yes.
You should be fucking embarrassed of yourself. Like, Jimmy's been this good. He didn't just come to the Warriors and like tonight he's decided he was like, he's always been this good. What have you been watching?
Who is the best offensive player he's played with?
Tyler
Hero. I mean, to be fair, it's
Chicago days.
Probably it's probably the 30 games he played with Embiid. That half season he was in Philly.
Dwayne Wade, maybe back in the day. I don't know. But to your point, like, it's been a long time.
He didn't get prime Wade. No. Yeah. I mean, I don't think people really, in some ways, if that's your take on Jimmy, it's kind of an insult to Steph. That's kind of the way I take it. You're like, oh, you need Wiggins. You need this. I'm like, Wiggins was a laughing stock before he played with Steph. Pretty much most players who play on the Warriors outside of Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, their reputation is in the mud before they play with Stephen Curry. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to like downplay players, because they're all NBA players. They're all good players. But like, the guy juices everyone on offense. And this guy was the first option on a team that got to the finals with 3 G Leaguers. Three. Stop overthinking it. He's not Kevin Durant. Like, neither Andy or I are going to come up here and say he's better than KD or something like that. But he is a true all-star. He is a true. If I'm physically right, I am in the all-star game whenever I want to be. I could be the engine of a good team every fucking time I want to play. And you're putting him next to Steph Curry, even if the other pieces don't fit. And I think ultimately those other pieces will determine if this team's going to make a deep run or there's going to be a cute story, you know? He's like, the gap between what they put around Steph and Jimmy Butler is so much larger than has been given credit.
He's also incredibly smart. And maybe I was even downplaying this a little bit. He's an incredible passer. I think nickname's Jimmy Bucket, so I think everyone thinks he's going to score. But man, I kind of like can't wait till Kuminga's back for those lineups. And yeah, from the chat, free Gucci. Butler's off-ball defense was amazing. And they needed.
He's more Andre on defense.
Yeah. No, it just their defense isn't going to be amazing. They just have too many gaps, right, on defense. But can they play, to your point earlier, can they play just enough good defense? Can they get just enough stops? And now they have, Steph's a smart defender, but like he's going to get blown by a lot. And Jimmy and Draymond can anchor enough post. Can they help him out a little bit? And then defensively, like you got guys that are like, can they just get smart enough defenders around him? I think like Pods and Gia, like really smart. Can you get enough of those guys on the floor so that the offense can be bailed out by Steph and Jimmy? I think it's pretty obvious right now. The offense is going to get bailed out by Steph and Jimmy. Just find a way to put the defense around these guys.
And I do want to give a little grace to those who are anti this trade, because like the funny thing is, who's the perfect player to play next to Steph and Jimmy? It's Andrew Wiggins. Like he is just better.
That's fair.
He's better than Guy Santos and Moses Moody at the same role. Like your hope is they can give you the off-brand version of what Wiggins got you, right?
Yeah.
But new CBA is what it is. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you kind of have to build your team where the big money goes to the big stars. And then you got to hope that you're smart enough to find a guy who can do 95% of Wiggins for like 40 to 50% of the cost.
Well,
because of this new, like, and it is kind of just like, maybe there was a way for them to trade for Jimmy and keep Wiggins in the old CBA structure, but it doesn't exist with this second apron. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it is what it is to me.
Or if Miami wanted to play ball and they had traded the CP3 contract before the season for him. But I think here's what I think. I think, but that's what Moses Moody is there for. They're paying him $13 million. I know it's not this year, but
that's what in theory Kuminga is there.
And
for,
that's
right?
what I was gonna say. And that's in theory what Kuminga's contract is going to be paid for. Like, what's Wiggins making a year, right? 25, 26, 27? Like
29.
Kuminga's 29. So Kuminga's playing for that $29 million contract right now when he comes back. And so I think you're right. You're right. They don't have anybody that's going to be as good as that. But I do think, like, man, you've got the guys there though. Like when they come back, like I know people like Guy Santos. Guy Santos not going to play when Kuminga comes back. Kuminga's taking all those minutes, and he has to. And the upside is way higher. And so, he has to play. He has to figure out how to play next to him. But you're right. And now that makes me think of a Steph, Wiggins, Jimmy lineup is exciting. But I think they've now figured out the hardest part, which if they have not figured out for the past 4 out of the last 5 years, they figured out the hardest part is you put an elite secondary guy with Steph. That's been missing since Poole's 3-month stretch and KD. That's it.
They spent 2022 is amazing, and Warrior fans should kind of revel in it for as long as they want to, but it's not a sustainable formula, particularly in the new CBA era. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, in most likelihood, you need to kind of get 2 guys and figure out your supporting guys from there. That's really what it comes down to. So it's like, now the Warriors are Steph and Jimmy, and everything is downstream of that. Do you fit around Steph and Jimmy? Are you the right shooting guard to play next to Steph and Jimmy? Or the right power forward? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything goes like that. It kind of sucks, because like the romantic in me would have preferred to just like build a team without having to think about all these cap constraints all the time. But that's like the league we're in. They want to be like the NFL. They want it to be about nerds who are smart and figure this shit out, and it leads to this. So it is what it is. I'm just a realist about it, and like my realist perspective has always been, dude, just get Steph a real star, and let's go from there. And I love Jimmy. He's been one of my favorite players in the league for a decade, but like, he is also 35, and like, it's not like they went out there and got him prime Giannis. You know what I mean?
No.
And you already see the difference with that sort of thing. So it's pretty exciting, even when you're like, can be honest about it and be like, they did the bare minimum.
Yeah. Let's get to the fun quotes. We'll get to the fun post.
Yeah, I got some good stuff. But let's
see the smile on his face. Yeah. Light Years Podcast, we are brought to you by Prize Picks. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks, best place to get real money sports action. I think the overs would have hit tonight on Jimmy Butler. It definitely would have on Steph Curry. So they got 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. But really what we're here for, and really what Prize Picks has got in store, is the big game free pick, the Patrick Mahomes projection discount. All you have to do is you click up on the 0.5 pass yards, free pick for the game, 1 yard. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. Sam, who you got win them all? Who do you got?
I want Philly to win.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I don't believe that they will. But you know what? I took the over on the Mahomes play because I'm leaving here with something. as expression goes. I'm leaving here. You know what? If KC wins, I'm gonna at least make a little money off of it, and that's how I feel. It's Prize Picks giving us a gift. I feel pretty confident Mahomes will get more than a half a yard passing. So I just got to pick one other. I'm taking the over on Saquon's scoring. Easy. Feeling pretty good about that. I'm also taking the over on Kelsey receptions because I do think it's going to be an ugly game where Mahomes spams 12 tight end screens. I don't think he's going to – I don't know if he's going to play well. I know he's going to have 15 receptions or something crazy like that, So
15 for 45. Might be Kelsey's last game too.
I'm a little dead inside. I don't really want either team to win this one. And that's where Prize Picks comes in because at least I can enjoy this. At least I can be like, you know what? Darian, college fund.
Download the app today. Use code LightYears. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you play your first $5. Prize Picks, run your game. Wow, that's good stuff.
It is. Who do you actually? What is your prediction for tomorrow?
Everyone is. You got to predict, but I'm rooting for the Eagles. Even though as a Niners fan, it's kind of weird. But it's like, dude, I'm so tired of it. Everyone's tired of it. But it's like, are we putting our money on Jalen Hurts? I don't know, man. How many tush pushes is he gonna have tomorrow? I will say,
I can live with the Chiefs being the first three-peat and then getting them out of here. That's it. That's it. Yeah, get your history. We all acknowledge Mahomes is maybe the greatest of all time already. If at worst, like third best quarterback of all time. Get your first three-peat in the NFL, and then I never want to see you guys again.
Well, think of it this way, and I know we got a lot of Niners fans listening. Think of it this way: maybe copium, hopium. If the Chiefs win the third one, they can't possibly win again next year, right? So maybe the Niners, if they don't see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, if they make it, maybe they got a better chance, right? Maybe they got a better chance at beating Josh Allen than they do of beating the Chiefs.
I've said these lies to myself many times. So
I'm hoping. So go Chiefs.
We'll keep it quick. You guys know our other sponsor, our friends over at Body Spec, making the DEXA scan affordable for all. What's a DEXA scan? Body fat percentage, lean muscle mass, stuff you hear about pro athletes that's not really accessible to average Joes like Andy and me. You and I would stand on the scale. Who's like, 205, what that sort of thing. But it doesn't really tell you if you're in shape or you're out of shape. What you really want to know to get on your fitness journey is like, what's my muscle mass? Where's the visceral fat around my organs? Am I actually in shape? Is everything good? Or do I need to start eating more vegetables? Whatever it may be. So Body Spec, the cool thing about them is they've made this super affordable because typically DEXA scans cost hundreds of dollars, hard to get access to. The Warriors get them, but you and I can't get them. With BodySpec.com and the promo code LightYears45, you get a DEXA scan for only $45, and they got mobile vans that will come to you. That's simple. BodySpec.com, LightYears45, start your fitness journey. Guys, the mood in Warriors World is very, very positive right now. So I'm going to start with Jimmy. I'm going to play this for you real quick.
The best of my ability, good ball, and we'll make it work. I'll fit in just fine. So I went out there, did that to the best of my ability. Don't touch me. And
you're serious, by the way. You're serious.
You know what's crazy? He is a dog. They do not win. They do not win this game going down 24 if it's Wiggins. Sorry, they don't. Like Jimmy is kind of that guy. But the other thing I will say is he didn't even go to shoot around because the trade hadn't been finalized. He wasn't allowed to go to shoot around. So to kind of have that awful start, which like in some ways was expected, and to figure it out in the second half, like it does speak to his IQ, right? It's kind of like, it's the type of thing where it's like, you really have to be a fucking good basketball player to figure it out on the fly like that.
Yep. I don't know if you're gonna play the Steve Kerr pregame quote.
I'm about to do it right now.
Okay.
No. Go ahead. Go.
Okay, because that one, because you texted me this. I didn't see it. You texted me in the pregame. I was like, you see this? Steve Kerr comparing Jimmy Butler's IQ to Andre Iguodala, and I just start crying, laughing. I'm like, really? Does he? Because he's a scorer, but you watch this game and you get it. You get what he's saying. He picks up an offense in 2 seconds. He's great on defense. He knows where to be. He's not the same athletic, like he was pretty athletic back in his prime, but for a guy who has high IQ, it doesn't matter, right? All these great players, which is why Steph, KD, Braun, like that, they might lose athleticism, but they can play until they're mid-30s and still be great because they're so smart.
40,
right?
Yeah,
40.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what the fuck LeBron is
like,
on, but yeah.
No speculation.
Yeah.
Do not taint the goat like that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's like, and the other thing on Jimmy is just like the strength. A lot of like what he does in the post is just, I'm gonna get position on you. I'm stronger than you. You're either gonna let me get a clean layup or you're gonna foul me, which is just, you don't see that with Warriors players. You have not, like Kuminga. I actually think Jimmy will be amazing for Kuminga because this is like, if you lock in, this is what you could be. This is what you can be, because Kuminga is strong as hell too, and no one can stay in front of him in the post if he goes there too. So it's like one of those things where it's like, you see the contract Jimmy got at his age after he threw a tantrum in Miami. Life, you lock in, you become that player. Life could be very, very good, my man.
Yeah. I didn't think about the Kuminga mentoring part. That's a huge one. That's like Kuminga's seen it all. I mean, he's seen it all, and it feels like he's been through it all. So this is going to be a fun one to see. I can't wait. I don't even know when he's back.
I think it goes both ways. One, it's like playing with ball handlers and high IQ players makes the game simpler for Kuminga. But secondarily, like, Kuminga wants to be the guy with the ball in his hands. So letting him play with, watch Jimmy, learn from him. Like, you can learn professionalism from Steph, but I promise you're never going to play like Steph. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas like Jimmy, like, I don't even know if you can play like him per se, but like, same position, same physical build, same skill set. Like, it's a much more like, I want to learn from this guy, because this is
I think you've brought it up a few times too in terms of comp. Kind of like the Giannis is an insane one. Nobody's Giannis, but like Jimmy Butler's, I wouldn't say attainable, because also Jimmy Butler is awesome, but like there's flashes of, like, we see I won't even say it's foul grifting. It's crazy, because when Jimmy gets fouled, those are actual fouls. Okay, a little. Now that he's a Warrior, now that he's a Warrior, we'll see if the grifting keeps.
We like it now. It's the first time we've had a guy who can grift a little bit, and it does feel different when it's on your side. You're like, that's right, you can't guard him. That's right, too strong.
I'm saying, dude, the bench lineup after the All-Star break, Jimmy, Pods, and Kuminga, it's a lot of grifting. It's a lot of free throws. I can't wait. I just can't wait.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay with it, because it's like, just be good at something. Like the team we saw last year, which was just, or not last year, but like all year, and it's not against any single player. It's like they just run 3-point line to 3-point line, and they're hoping to be hotter than you. That's it.
Yeah.
At least this team can enforce their will in some ways. Let's play the Steve Kerr quote real quick, because this one's more interesting.
What do you think of Jimmy?
Pretty fun having Jimmy on our team. He's an amazing player. The ability to get fouled, it just settles the game for us at key times. But I'm most impressed with his passing. I just think his passing changes everything, connects the game.
Connects the game. Loves that.
He'll dive down to the post, catch it down there, or he'll pass off the dribble, or he'll just make a quick swing. So the skill, the strength, the ability to get to the free throw line, and then in the end, he goes beyond that. It's just his presence out there. He's a lion out there. He is a force.
What do you think of Jimmy?
Oh, do you think he's bought in? He looked very emotional when the trade went down. I was I was ready to, I had the negative Kerr vibes watching the whole thing. I played it out in my head about how he was going to hate the whole thing. Maybe a little pessimistic.
I was with you there, but you know what it reminds me of as I was watching him smile? The wife, Risa, asked me midway through the third quarter, she was like, does Jimmy even want to be here? And I looked there and I went, $120 million. The fuck do you think? I was like, what the fuck do you think? And so the same thing for Steve Kerr, right? It's like, does Steve Kerr, did he want to ditch Wiggins and bring on someone like Jimmy Butler? No. Jimmy, I don't think wanted to be in Golden State. But you know what? Team's gonna win. And look at that smile on his face. Team's gonna win. Winning fixes all, right? And I think that's like I don't think Steve's sitting here and saying like I want to coach Jimmy, that's my guy. But every time Jimmy gets to the foul line and saves the team from a turnover, and he actually makes his free throws, it's like when the team wins a game, I think Steve's gonna be bought in. I think as
Lions. Lion is a polite way to say, we got a lot of cats on this team. And got a lion, like it's. I know what he's dancing around. I'm not gonna go there, but it's about having a guy who can fucking assert their will a little more. And I liked everyone on this team. I liked everyone on last year's team. They're all good for what they do, but sometimes you just need a dude who's going to. They just need a second dude. Like it's just not more complicated than that. When you see it. When you see a guy who actually is an all-star versus that's a good player. That's a good role player. That's a guy who can be on a winning team.
Tears to my eyes. All right. We got the Goons. Are you doing a Goon section?
Look at that smile. Look at that smile by him.
Dude,
right now.
I don't think he smiled like that all season. And same with Steph. Did we see Steph smile like that?
When's the last time the Warriors have had a down 20+ points? We're going to essentially lock in and win this game.
I don't know. 2017,
not in the
73 and 9 season.
I would say in the 22 season.
KD. Oh, 2022. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but they haven't since then. And in general, it's bad to go down 22 points. But a sign of a resilient group is not getting shook by that and being able to fight back a little bit.
The last time the vibes were this high was they beat Dallas. And I remember that because that was the night before my kid was born. they beat Dallas and Steph dropped a night, and that was the last time the vibes were this high.
That was personal. That was Clay. We love you, but there's zero chance I'm letting you win There's zero chance I'm letting you win this game right now. Yeah, let's get some Goon calls. We got our guy Tyler, who was actually at the game. Hopefully his reception is strong enough. What's up, man?
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys? Man, first half was a little rough. Got to be honest. Jeez.
Ignore.
But that run was great, man. I mean, Steph's amazing live. But Jimmy was just I was hyped to see him, and I'm so glad. Like I live in Chicago. By chance, he makes his debut like here, right? But
nice.
What a quiet 25-point game, honestly. Like getting foul calls, huge. I'm not used to that. And like I don't know, man. If I'm gonna naturally kind of compare like his role on the team to Wiggins because like that's what we gave up. That's kind of the position he's been playing. But if Wiggins is scoring 25 points in a game, like you feel it, like he's dominating the game. That wasn't what Jimmy did tonight. So feels good. I mean, it's against the Bulls, so you can't like put too much on it. But the defense during that run too was also great. Like they were doing whatever they wanted in the first half, and they couldn't do anything. So it was good. It was a fun game.
How was the crowd? Ooh, how was the crowd?
Nice. Yeah, there were a couple Warrior fans in my section, but no, the loudest it probably got was when Buzelis dunked it over. Who'd he dunked on?
It's pretty sick dunk. I mean, Jimmy was flying by him, but that was pretty sick dunk.
Yeah, that was
Buzelis
sweet.
is nice. Buzelis is going to be. I'm in on Buzelis. I know it's not our show, but
Andy, you about to drop a grand to go watch Buzelis in the dunk contest?
Was he in the dunk contest?
He is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I'll be at the game in Milwaukee too on Monday, so going up there, it'll be fun.
Be good.
Yeah, but Giannis had a calf strain, so he better be playing. Why do you want the tickets?
Although Giannis doesn't play, better chance you get the back-to-back dubs. Now you can call yourself the lucky charm. Then maybe we can get people to crowdfund you to go to the next game, which won't be as local. So there is a positive side to it. Even though if Giannis didn't play, you would have got the tickets for 50%. So
true. Yeah. How are you guys feeling about it? What were your thoughts on Jimmy?
I'm excited. I know you didn't catch the first part of the show because you're in transit right now, but it was everything I hoped the trade would be. The first half, I was sitting here going, oh, am I that guy who was holding on to hope 1 year too long? You know, kind of like I was just like, oh no. And then the second half happened. The second half is exactly what I expected to happen with Jimmy Butler, which is tougher team, smarter team. Yeah, they get down, but they're able to figure it out. The team prior to having Jimmy does not figure that out. And then to your point, it's weird having a guy on the Warriors who can get free throws, but I like it. I kind of like it. Normally I'm not this guy, but right now I'll take anything that works, and that's a very effective brand of basketball.
Yeah. It feels like the core of the team. They figured that out. Those three guys.
Yes.
You can do whatever. The rest of the team, like, there's question marks. Watching Quentin Close play defense was horrendous. Oh my God.
Vooch at home.
But true. Vucevic is not a winning player. I'm glad they didn't trade for him.
Yeah, that was a rough. This is why they didn't want to.
If you find a combo of what Looney can do and what Quentin Post can do, I mean, obviously that's a very good player. But there's somebody in between that, and it's not Trace Jackson-Davis.
I was going to say Miles Turner, maybe Brook Lopez. That's a hard player. That's a hard player to find.
Exactly, yeah. But there's something in between. You know, there's like a very light level of some guys.
Jalen Smith.
Yeah, he was amazing, man.
What was he doing tonight? Oh my goodness.
He looks like that fish in SpongeBob, like I don't know, man. Like the one with the pickles. Yeah, that looks like Jalen Smith.
Incredible. Jeez.
It really does, though. It really does. Before we get you out of here, appreciate you calling in, Tyler. How loud was the crowd when Steph started cooking? I feel like we buried the lead there. I saw your clip that you posted on Twitter. When he hit that shot, I heard that it was very much Kobe coming to Oracle in 2001 when the Warriors suck and secretly the crowd is rooting for him type of thing.
It popped off. I mean, it was great. That's why everybody bought the tickets, right? I mean, Steph puts. I mean, it's awesome. You never know what kind of night you're going to get from Steph. Like, we've seen him miss so many shots in a bunch of different games this year, but there's nothing like him just on a roll. That's why I started filming. I'm like, you know, he's starting to feel it, and like you start feeling that little buzz, and there's nothing like it. So it was awesome being part of that crowd.
Yep.
Sweet guys.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on. Have a good night.
Have a great evening, man. I would have loved to be there. I haven't said that a lot.
Streets of Chicago.
I have not said that about a lot of Warrior games the last 2.5 years. Tonight, I was like, you know what? I miss that buzz. I need to get to a game very soon. Very soon.
Dude, Steph hit the spinning, like a turnaround three. Like, I was like, what the
I had it.
Man, like,
I had it on the rundown that we were going to start on Steph because let's be real, like he was the star of the game, but just the whole like integration of Jimmy and what it means to like the big picture, like it's hard not to talk about that. Even if wow, we're taking Steph for granted. We're like the Lakers now.
Okay. Hey,
just kidding.
Can someone
Love
get
you, Joe?
Lakers?
Joe said no chair.
Lakers reaction? Yeah.
No chair for Joe. That's our guy.
Joe's listening to the radios and he's going like, this why the fuck did the trade? Fuck you guys for questioning. I want to see Joe's reaction.
The struggle beard. That's the beard of a man who has like had to keep his real feelings to himself. Joe, we appreciate you. That's it. I don't know. I'm just fucking around at this point. But
we love Joe. I feel like we didn't talk
pro
about
Joe,
it enough.
Pro Joe pod.
I mean, look, dude, like you can say whatever you want about the trade, but the guy cares. The guy said, hey, I'm willing to shell out $120 million for, I think, what many people felt like was a risk, and it still is for sure. It's just one game, but like I don't know, man. Like, dude, does any like not many teams do that. I could tell you that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of owners in sports will not do that. So it's at the very least, the next 30 games are going to be interesting and fun to watch. And fuck it, I love it. That's what I want. That's all we want.
And it's also just like a reminder, like I don't know if they always make the right moves. Actually, I know they don't, but like I don't think it's because he's cheap. I don't think it's because he doesn't want to compete per se. I think there's a lot of different things. I think there's a lot of different voices. And you win, everyone kind of has an elevated feeling of their voice. And sometimes that leads to bad decisions. But I don't get the feeling it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, now I can just cash in on this baby and we're gonna suck, And it doesn't mean the decisions are always right, but I do, to your point, I do buy that he cares.
Yeah. They're going to be a luxury tax team next season, I think, right? For sure. So
I don't really see how they avoid it. If they're not a luxury tax team, it's legitimately Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, and like 12 Guy Santoses, which might not be the worst
roster.
thing.
Not a bad roster. Is Pat Spencer on the team? Because I like him. So no, but yeah. So
let's get our guy Paratosh up here.
Nah, it's been a while. What's up?
Hey guys, long time. Can you guys hear
What's
me?
up, man?
You're good, dude.
Yeah, you're good,
Yeah.
man.
So since you guys are talking about Joe, I have a conspiracy theory, or maybe not. It's not a conspiracy theory, but also a question. So first, let me start with the theory. Do you guys think Dunleavy sold the Jimmy trade to Joe Lacob based on the fact that he could get to keep Kuminga? Like, hey, you can do both the 2 timeline thing the way you wanted to without losing any picks, or I guess 1 pick, but also keeping your favorite player on the team. So that I think that might have been a really strong selling point for Jimmy to Lacob, because we've seen him veto a lot of other trades, or him, not him, the front office. So, and this trade seems to have just landed in the Warriors' lap the way Lacob would have wanted it to. So that's my theory. The question is, between now the Mark Williams less Lakers and the Jimmy Warriors, the Jimmy-led Warriors, I guess, which team would like an OKC or Houston like to see less in the first round of the playoffs? What do you guys think?
Oh, I think they're fucked either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
love
know,
that
but
question.
Who's fucked? Who's fucked either way?
OKC.
Oh,
So here's
I love
this is me like getting way too ahead of myself. I think this Warrior team matches up with OKC very well, especially with Jimmy. I do not love how they match up with like Denver, maybe Dallas, some other teams. Like I'm not saying that the title run is on the way, but I would not be surprised if this Warrior team had the ability to upset OKC or Houston. Houston, maybe
I would
even
love
worse.
them to send Houston home one more time.
Houston is the one that I think everybody has a laser on. Houston is the Houston is the
They're good, but
yeah. Houston is the Memphis of like 3 years ago, where it's like, yeah, they're super fun and they're young and they try really hard, but like
I need Steph to send Houston home one more time, like 36, 37-year-old Steph.
I think they would. I don't look. The Warriors have to actually get into the postseason.
Yeah,
and they're not that far behind. They're not. They're only like 3-4 games.
No, and the Suns look terrible as well. Like they're around the Suns right now. And
turns out trying to trade your best player behind his back, maybe not the best for an already bad locker room.
Kind of feels like KD also made the wrong move by staying. So I mean, like KD's fucked and the Suns are fucked.
To your theory,
but I mean,
though, the Warriors
kind of
get. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, like, to your point, like the Warriors were trying to not get rid. They were going to move Kuminga for Kevin Durant. Like that, he was
as they should. By the way, I don't think anyone's like. It's Kevin Durant, man. He's one of the 10 best players of all time. Like no one's gonna be upset if that happens. That type of thing.
10,
so
come on, Sam.
Okay, so maybe I would say KD is like the only player, not even Jimmy, that Laker would have got rid of Kuminga for.
I think
he would have.
Yeah,
I think he would have got rid of Kuminga for like Giannis for.
Obviously.
Yeah, okay. So I can go into unrealistic. I'm sure he would have traded him for Luka. I think that probably pissed him off. They didn't even know that Luka was available. Like we can keep going down the line, but I hear what you're saying. He's not giving him away.
Max Christie? What the?
Hey, Max Christie, nice.
Max Christie, nice. Really good. Really good.
Are we like we're very ahead of ourselves? But am I insane for saying okay? Thunder are phenomenal, but I think they match up poorly. Rockets.
Give me the Rockets, man. I'm just really
Yeah, but
want
like,
to
look at
see
the
Houston
Grizzlies.
get
Are they
better.
that scary? Look at the Grizzlies. How scary are they?
They're annoying more than scary to me. I don't want to see Taylor Jenkins complain
I
about.
think I legitimately think the Nuggets are the best team in the West. So, and maybe it's just, even though they have like weird fit everywhere, just Jokic. So
I think the Lakers are.
No, please, I'm not trying to be.
I think the
Lakers
I've been
again.
doing it. I've been doing this for years. I just think the Lakers are. Well, I guess it depends who they're getting on the buyout market because.
Oh, I thought you were
Mark
saying
Williams,
that Warriors
but-
and you want to see Warriors versus the Lakers in the playoffs.
I would love to see Warriors and Lakers. I think there's a realistic
No,
chance.
I'm not.
Everything's on the table for these. Look at this. Look at these standings. Everything's on the table. The Warriors could
I know,
easily
right?
be playing the
like
Lakers.
the Thunder,
in
the
first
Thunder are
round.
going to be fine seeding wise. They'll be the number 1 seed no matter what.
Right.
But yeah, once you get past, I mean the Warriors are.
2 weeks from now, the Warriors could be a 5 seed. Like it just. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's like, or a 6
Yeah,
seed,
none
I
of
should
those
say.
four
It's more,
teams
6
look
seed's more
like they are
realistic.
much better than the Warriors above them.
If the Warriors play the Wolves, like what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like what's Rudy Gobert doing? And I know we're going down the line, but it's just, I think this is kind of why the Warriors should have made this move, is because you go for it. You go for it because it's not like there's this historically amazing team in the Western Conference.
The West is there's 12 very good teams. There's not one great team in the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at this, and to your point, Andy, it's like everyone's one move away from being able to run the table. Like none of these teams scare me in any capacity. They're all good, and I don't know how good the Warriors are, to be fair, but it's like, it's a very, like, I don't know, it's parody. This is Adam Silver's NBA, right? Everyone's a 46 win team.
Yeah, it's fair. And by the way, the Lakers, I know the comments are kind of like crushing the Lakers matchup. It's like the Lakers matchup was hard for the Warriors because they had AD. Like that was like that's the problem.
Actually,
The problem was that AD.
Dallas actually might be a problem for the Warriors now, to be honest.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if AD can stay healthy, but like that's the issue. Like their best player was just destroying the Warriors every single game. So I just
I guess we don't have Wiggins now though to guard your Doncic. So
all right, let's get him out of here. Let's
all right.
Veritas.
Thanks, guys.
Bring
Get
back
Neil
Felix.
up here.
Hey,
My guys,
what's up, man? What's up,
going
big guy?
on? This is good timing. I just made it back through just disgusting weather in New York. But listen, I was at my friend's birthday. I was that meme of the dude in the corner by himself, like with like
They don't know.
They don't know about
I'm watching
Vooch at
Jimmy
home.
Butler's debut. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know about Vooch at home. Yeah. It's like, yeah. I mean, like when Jalen Smith, or I think that's his name, when he was hitting like threes, like for just, I was like, I don't know why I'm watching that. I should just turn this off and go hang out, but stuck with it. Got some friend, put it on the TV at the party, so it worked out.
Real fan, man. Look at that. Nobody wants to watch the Knicks. Come on.
Yeah. No.
Are you all the way in right now? Are you partially in?
Can't say
where are we?
all the. I don't know about all the way. This is very encouraging. Like honestly, like when the Jimmy trade went down, I was like, "This is good." Like I just wanted them to like do something, like it just like be interesting. I think Andy, you mentioned it earlier. Like they were just, it's just been so boring. Like they were throwing out lineups with like what's that guy's name? Jackson Rowe? Is that like the two-way guy? Like just like, come on, like we can't be serious here. But like, listen, I'm invested now. Like I'm way more invested in this team. Than I was for most of the season. Like, because like also like listen, on the East Coast when the game started at 10 p.m. and you're staying up till 1 to watch like, Quentin Post get cooked every other play. It's like, what are we doing here? But listen, they picked a direction, maybe too late, but now we can at least have some fun.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's the big thing for all of this. I think, did you see Mike Dunleavy's laugh?
Yeah.
We didn't even go through that. Just fucking snapping his neck back, just cackling like he's the fucking Joker.
I'm a Dunleavy guy right now. I'm a big guy.
Yeah. I mean, people were asking if that was like
find a
AI.
Dunleavy jersey.
Like, yeah.
AI.
It's like half the comments are like, is this AI? It's like, no, I mean,
I appreciate him having a sense of humor about it a little bit. It's a good time. I'm feeling good. Vibes are good. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Title time. We're good. No.
Yep.
Title time.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, like, Dunleavy brought that up because he did say something about, like, you know, we're going to evaluate in the offseason. We've got options. We've got options for what we want to do for next season. I do think, and I know people are going to hate it, but I do think they do have a lot of options next season. They figured out the top 3 guys. Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond are on the team next season. I know people are kind of like, they're going to pick between Draymond. No. Bro, I guarantee you Draymond's on the team next season. They've got 3 guys. They just need to figure out everyone else around them. And I do think, like, we're starting to see some of that now. Like, I think for sure Pods is there, right? He's been hooping. Moody has been playing well. Like, he's going to be in there. After that, I don't, we'll see. Is it Kaminga when he comes back,
Post,
right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, Quinn Post, we're kind of ripping his defense, but hey, man, like, 16 points is 16 points. That was, it's not nothing.
He's got a nice shot.
At home.
Yeah. It's got to be played with the right guys, right lineups.
Yep,
right
lineups. Yep.
So, yeah.
For a late second round pick, could do a lot worse. Could do a lot worse than him. He can play. He, in an ideal world, he's in a Mo Spates role. But, we'll take it. So
I like him. I really do. The defense is the defense, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. Like, if he's out there 20 minutes, it says more about your other options than him.
He's a fun player too. It's just like, again, it's just about, like, let's just keep this interesting. It's not just like Trace Jackson Davis. I mean, nice stretches here and there, but, like, he kind of is in the doghouse.
What a fall from grace, Trace Jackson Davis this season, huh? I don't want to bring the vibes down, but this has got to be one of the worst front court, like, units in the entire league, and he's basically done. He's basically been benched, so kind of tough. He's had a rough second year. Maybe he'll be better next year. I don't know, but yeah. Another late second rounder. Okay,
that's what we had it there. Good vibes, everyone. We are back. The season has been saved. I don't know. This is so much more interesting going forward. I'm hyped. In Jimmy Buckets we trust.